Right, folks, how's things? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to, or we're going to unbox the hydrogen flask, and by doing this, I'm going to show you how to set it up and hopefully answer any questions that you may have. Okay, so this is what should arrive. Okay, and it's going to be. This might take longer because this is not pre-planned, but let me just open this. Should be fairly straightforward now. Okay. Okay, so your instructions, they're very simple. Now, it can be a bit confusing when you open it at first, but it really is quite simple. Okay, so you have the filter, basic calcium filter. Now, well, I'll get into this in a minute, but this basically, there is a life expectancy, or how long it will last, they're saying about 3 months. Okay, now that is specifically when you're using only distilled water, and only if you want the minerals that are in this added back in, which is fine. Now, honestly, the best thing to do is add your own minerals back in. So we, here use really clean, pristine Celtic salt, and then our own mineral blend, the Aloha 7, which you can get. That's going to be far more beneficial than just using this. We've had filters in this one here running now for well over a year, and we don't need to use it because what we're doing is supplementing with our own minerals, which are going to be way more powerful. But we are going to get these in stock for people, and we may even do our own version where we put specific things in here, like the chi balls possibly, and that will charge the water up even more. Okay, so we will have them in stock. If you're just using distilled water, the recommended time is 3 months. But I actually think it will go a lot longer than that. But really, for your water to be as powerful as possible, we'd be adding extra minerals into it. Okay, you can get magnesium, you can get the Aloha, you can get sea salt, you can get fulvic minerals. There's a huge range of extra components and minerals that you can actually add into the water to make it even more, bring more life force into it. Okay, so the actual unit, there's a few pieces, okay? So that's the basic picture, okay? And you've got the electrolysis mechanism and the membrane here, the spinner, okay? And then what you're going to do is you slot the mineral tray on top, okay? So obviously it comes in plastic. So you can just take that off, and then that slots in there, okay? And then you put the lid back on for a second, keep it all together. The base, okay, which is that. And then you have the plug. Now, this is a UK and Ireland specific machine in terms of the plug. We weren't set up to have that done for Europe and around the world, but if you've ever been on a flight, or almost everybody at home should have some sort of filter. I mean, this distiller came to us from Europe, and they didn't supply a plug. And so we just, local hardware store, and you get an adapter, and it just changes. Now, most people have these in their home. If not, literally, even if you're in a small town, supermarkets, they have those, okay? Worst comes to worst, you just order it from Amazon and it'll be with you in a day or two, okay? So if you're in Europe or America, you are going to need a plug to convert it, okay? But once it's in, this then plugs into the back, okay? And straight away it'll come on, all right? Now, I'm actually going to use the kettle from the one we had before, just for ease of use. Because the one thing I want to talk about here as well is just because people ask these questions around, if you get a green color in the water or even around the tray. Now, you got to remember, the reason that bottled water doesn't change color in the sunshine and heat is because it's irradiated, okay? Nobody would buy bottled water if there was like a green algae on the surface. It's not toxic. It's actually showing you that the water is alive. Okay, so, algae will only grow in a substrate that has energy and coherence in it. It can't grow in irradiated water. So the fact it does go a little green is not a bad thing. In wintertime, it doesn't happen because there's less sun, especially in Ireland here. There's less sun, there's less heat, so it almost never happens. But in the middle of summer, you can get a little green hue in the water sometimes that's just reflecting from the filter, and a little residue that builds up there. That's very easily fixed. You would just empty the kettle, you would take the tray out, you'd put it under warm water or some vinegar or whatever, or a combination of both, and just give it a scrub, and that would be completely clean. Okay, and again, that's something you will be able to change over. So how it works, again, there's two main functions for this. Okay, so there's the vortex. Okay, so you press the button, you turn it on, and then it'll say magnetic water, and you just tap that button. Okay, and then it starts the process. Okay, so you can see the mechanism starts to spin, the vortex comes straight into the water, there are magnets in here as well, and that's going to run on a 10-minute cycle. So you just let that run. It's great because a lot of the vortex we had before do a small amount of water. You're getting a litre each time here, okay? So if you just want the vortex water, let it run for 10 minutes. Then you can put that water into glass or a different bottle, stainless steel, put it in the fridge, and that will maintain the vortex for a long time. Again, the exact number, 72 hours. Some people are saying weeks or months, so that's actually almost impossible to measure. But none of us should be leaving water in a litre of water that we've vortexed for too long anyways, so it doesn't really matter the time. It's definitely more than 72 hours. The next thing, which is less than 72 hours in terms of the efficacy of it, would be the hydrogen. So the next setting is the H2 water, okay? So you basically press that one on the right-hand side. That's got a higher level, and I always choose the higher level because it's obviously just, with the hydrogen, you're getting the hydrogen ions in here, and that's going to negatively charge the water as well. Okay, so they're negatively charged hydrogen molecules, which again, for your blood, the way your body works is it works with negative ions. We want to discharge positive as much as possible. So when you drink this water, it's enhancing the blood and the liquid in your body. Remember, in your body, it's not H2O. It's easy water. It's third, even fourth stage of water. So it's H3O2, and then in your cells, it's gel form. So if you can get negatively charged hydrogen water into your body that's coherent and alive, then your body's going to assimilate it much better. Okay, so that's going to run for 13 minutes. So in total, you get up in the morning, you put your litre of water in here, and you do the swirl and the hydrogen. With the hydrogen, I would drink that as soon as possible. If you're looking to get the effect from hydrogen, I would drink it, quickly. If you put it in a sealed bottle, it obviously can't off-gas too quickly, but if you just left it open, it would off-gas quite quickly, I would say within a few hours. If you seal it, you've maybe got 24, 48 hours with still decent potency in terms of the amount of hydrogen in there, okay? So that's the basic assembly. I don't think there's much more to it. The only last thing would be the type of water you put in here. Okay, so obviously the higher quality water you put in, the better it's going to be. But if you put tap water in here, it's going to improve the quality of the tap water. If you put distilled water in here, you've got super clean, clear water, and then you're going to be able to vortex it and put hydrogen. As I said, the train in and of itself is not a big deal. I would and like I always do personally, is add aloha and minerals into my water. And then the next thing would be, so if you put distilled water in, that's great, but you should mineralize it. If you put tap water, it's going to improve, but you're still going to get some of the chemicals in terms of the fluoride and chlorine and other toxins that are in the tap water. The vortex does help to bind it and to make it less absorbable into your system, but they're still going to be there. And if you've got a basic filtration system at home, like a carbon filter, that's going to get 99% of the toxins out, but it's dead water. And so it's always worth putting it through here. So in short, the better quality water you put in, it's going to enhance it. Okay? So I hope that helped. It is very straightforward, and it's a great unit. And in terms of bang for your buck, a tabletop counter unit that does a vortex and a hydrogen is fantastic. I mean, you can pay thousands and thousands for inline filtration systems, and this does a very good job of replicating those. Okay, so thank you very much. Bye bye.